those who don't believe that he's the greatest ever will suggest that isn't this the sort of game in which Lionel Messi, to prove himself as the best ever player who's ever kicked a ball, should be taking it by the scruff of the neck and taking
come on.
it through?
Well, he did it the first leg, without him doing that in the first leg. So there comes a time when the other 10 have to chip in. I mean, come on, seriously. Are we... I said it last week. Over the last decade, there's maybe been 3 or 4 occasions when we've asked that question of him. The guy is at such a level, and the fact that you're even saying that's absolutely unfair. This guy is so good. He is absolutely the best player on the planet, and he put his team in a position to be 3 up. So it's the other 10. We shouldn't be talking about Messi. It's the other 10 that we should be talking about.
To your point, Stevie, he actually put this team in a position to be 4 up, to be 5 up. Because Dembele had clear opportunities in that first leg where we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Look, Lionel Messi, he wasn't outstanding by his standards today. He could have done more. But the ball was never in his feet in a position where he could really affect the game. And when he did have it in his feet and he could affect the game, there were through balls to Luis Suarez, in which he scores. It's a different story altogether. And so we go back to the same story. People are going to say, well, if you don't think that Lionel Messi is the greatest player of all time, what have you, then does that change if Higuaín scores in the World Cup final? If we want to go down that direction, that's fine. But the truth is, a week ago, we were talking about Lionel Messi as this is what he does. A week later, now we want to change the discussion. It doesn't work.
We should be talking about Valverde.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can't, we can discuss Messi having a poor game or a quiet game. But I don't think we should lower ourselves to this social media claptrap nonsense that, the Messi Ronaldo, where you tweet out about what do you think is a good Christmas tree I should buy, and somebody tweets back, oh, Ronaldo's better than Messi, blah, blah, blah. It's absolute. They're both great players. And, Messi didn't have a bad game tonight. You watched the end of the game tonight. Liverpool had so many red jerseys, narrow. The only place he could have went and stood in the right wing or went and stood in the left wing. And really out there, he was going to be ineffective. What he didn't do tonight was produce... Obviously, he had a free kick in the same position. Yeah. Almost the same position that he did in the Camp Nou. Different result. It's, I don't know. Let the absolute muppets on Twitter go and talk about a guy having a bad game and all of a sudden he's not a great player. Nobody's ever said, for those that are... Because it's only Ronaldo and Messi people. That's all. The only people that are interested in this are Ronaldo fans and Messi fans. They're both great players. Both fantastic players. Yeah. He had a poor game. Well, he had a quiet game tonight by his standards.
We talked about the experienced guys on the field not making any changes, not doing anything to affect it. Guess what? You've got a coach. That's his job.
Should he be gone?
Well, initially I'm thinking, you know what, this is such a huge disaster. And I'm thinking, well, did he actually have anybody on the bench that could actually make a difference? Can Barcelona play in a different way? I agreed with Ali when he said, you've got to change something. If it means you've got to kick it 30 yards and squeeze up. But can they do that?
He said one team to beat.
Are they just a team that has to do it one way and can't do it any other way?
Let's gauge it with Serie A, for example. Or any other league, whatever you think. But, it's getting a bit boring there, right? With Juventus winning all the time. Well, not for Juventus fans, but for the rest. He said one team to beat because Real Madrid have been hopeless.
Yep.
So he's had to only go over, really, Atletico Madrid. And they've done that with relative ease. The question is then, is that enough for the Barcelona board with these 2 failures? I don't know.
No, I don't think it is. No. I don't think it is enough. And the circumstances under which this happened for Barcelona, let's not forget about how this was perceived when PSG fell to Barcelona under the same circumstances. PSG hung on to Unai Emery. How did that work? Not very well. For me, Ernesto Valverde today failed in a couple of circumstances. One, is clearly not having the team ready to play under the pressure that they knew was coming. And 2, not making the adjustment of say, you know what, we got to change our shape and we got to get numbers around the ball and behind the ball defensively because we're getting run over all over the place.
For more, sign up now for ESPN Plus.